In this chapter, we're going to delve deep into the wonderful world of building supportive relationships. If there's one thing that can truly make our lives richer and more fulfilling, it's the people we surround ourselves with. So, grab a cozy seat and let's explore how to foster meaningful connections, communicate effectively, and seek out those relationships that uplift you on your unique journey. The power of positive connections. Imagine yourself standing in the center of a vibrant garden, surrounded by an array of colorful flowers. Each flower represents a relationship in your life. Some are tall and sturdy, providing unwavering support, while others are delicate and need nurturing. Just as a garden flourishes when tended to, our lives blossom when we cultivate positive connections. Positive relationships are like a safety net woven from threads of trust, empathy, and understanding. They celebrate your victories, lend a listening ear during challenges, and remind you that you're not alone in this journey. Surrounding yourself with such people is like having a soft place to fall when the world gets a bit too rough. Nurturing meaningful connections. But how do you cultivate these amazing relationships? It starts with authenticity. Authenticity is the magic ingredient that transforms ordinary interactions into deep connections. Be yourself unapologetically. Let your quirks shine, share your passions, and show vulnerability when appropriate. When you're genuine, you invite others to do the same, and that's when the real magic happens. Effective communication is another cornerstone of meaningful relationships. Listening actively and empathetically is just as important as expressing yourself. When you truly listen, you're saying to the other person, "Your thoughts and feelings matter to me." This not only strengthens your bond but also creates a safe space where both of you can grow. Maintaining supportive relationships can help ease feelings of isolation, stress, and loneliness, providing essential problem-solving and emotional support services. Self-care involves activities designed to maintain both physical and emotional wellness, such as eating well, exercising regularly, getting enough restful sleep, seeing a therapist regularly, and engaging in socially enriching activities with others. 1. Reach out. Supportive relationships provide us with encouragement and motivation when life gets difficult, helping to strengthen both confidence and self-esteem, encouraging us to take bigger risks in pursuit of our dreams, as well as being there when things get challenging. Such relationships can also provide a safety net in case things turn sour. Every relationship is different, yet supportive relationships generally share certain common traits. Individuals in such relationships tend to openly communicate and are able to listen and empathize with one another's problems. Additionally, they spend regular quality time together while supporting one another in reaching their goals and attainments. Being supportive doesn't require making major life changes, but rather requires being present. Listening to others, showing empathy, and checking in regularly are all ways you can provide support to those around you. For example, when someone shares that they're having difficulty, you could respond with words like, "That sounds really difficult. I'm sorry to hear that." Practice positive self-care is another way of being supportive. You can do this by engaging in activities that benefit both your physical and mental well-being, while avoiding those which could potentially harm it. For instance, eating healthy food or taking a relaxing bath are great ways to care for yourself. Or engaging in fitness, mindfulness practice, and sleeping for 8 hours at night might all work too. As part of being supportive, setting boundaries is also vitally important. Protecting mental health by limiting time spent with individuals who pose potential threats is especially crucial if working with young people. Building supportive relationships requires time and effort, but the rewards can be immense. Learning how to identify and develop supportive relationships will create a community of people who will always be there when you need someone most. 2. Ask for help. Some individuals may find it challenging to ask for assistance, believing they should be capable of managing on their own. It is important to remember that supportive relationships do not involve attachment. You do not take on responsibility for decisions they make or their behavior. Supportive of those facing difficulties involves simply listening and offering emotional and physical presence when needed. Furthermore, giving people opportunities to make better choices can often help with managing any resulting consequences. No one is perfect, and making bad choices or going through tough times are inevitable, so the key is not being emotionally invested in their outcome. According to one meta-analytical study, individuals in strong supportive relationships have an increased survival chance by 50%. 3. Look for natural supports. At times, natural supports come from our daily activities. Attending community center arts classes or attending library book club meetings could lead to new friendships that serve as natural supports when feeling unwell or dealing with unexpected life changes. Caregivers who enlist natural supports can bolster both physical and emotional wellness, helping them bounce back more quickly from any challenges associated with caring for someone with mental illness. This practice is known as caregiver self-care. It is important that caregivers take the time to look after their needs so they can be the best supporter possible for others. Self-care can be difficult to prioritize in relationships, as the focus often falls on what's best for both partners. But remembering the benefits of good self-care for relationships requires two healthy people and can greatly contribute to mental, emotional, and physical well-being. With a support system in place, prioritizing self-care becomes much simpler, and speaking up about any unmet needs becomes much easier. If you're having difficulty doing so with your partner, have an open and honest dialogue about what matters to both of you, what you need and why it matters. Agree on ways you'd support each other while keeping communication lines open so you both are able to care for yourselves well, or reach out to local community organizations for support groups near your area. 4. Take care of yourself. Caretaking of yourself is essential to being able to care for others effectively. Just as airplane flight attendants warn, caregivers need to ensure their own physical and emotional well-being is maintained so they can face all the ups and downs of supporting a loved one with mental illness. Building and maintaining healthy relationships is an integral component of self-care, including building them with family, friends, and community members. Strong support networks can help caregivers cope with the stresses and strains of mental health caregiving, while studies have demonstrated their positive effect on overall health and quality of life, even among individuals living with chronic conditions. Caregivers should prioritize developing a healthy relationship with themselves as part of their caregiving duties, including taking time for themselves, setting boundaries, and being aware of their emotions. Prioritizing others' needs over your own can often result in feelings of guilt or resentment. Failing to prioritize sleep could negatively impact health. Fatigue, low mood, and headaches could result. Caring for yourself involves identifying your personal needs and priorities, developing a plan to meet them, and then making self-care part of your daily life. This may involve prioritizing physical, emotional, social, spiritual self-care, such as eating nutritious meals, exercising regularly, and getting enough restful sleep, along with prioritizing it all the time. Examples of physical self-care could be eating nutritious meals, exercising regularly, and getting sufficient restful sleep. Prioritizing journaling practices like mindfulness journaling is emotional self-care activities like journaling, while social self-care could involve spending time with friends, while spiritual self-care involves engaging in activities that create meaning and purposeful connections in our lives. Self-care doesn't have to be expensive or time-consuming. All it takes is scheduling some me time into your calendar or adding healthy habits into daily routine. And remember to be flexible, adjust as necessary. The dance of effective communication. Imagine communication as a dance, where two partners move in harmony, each step perfectly complementing the other. To dance this dance effectively, you must master the art of both speaking and listening. When you speak, do so with clarity and kindness. Express yourself honestly, but remember to choose your words thoughtfully. Be mindful of how your words might land on the other person's heart. And if a disagreement arises, approach it as an opportunity to understand each other better, rather than a battle to be won. Listening, on the other hand, requires your full attention. Put away distractions, make eye contact, and show that you're fully present. Don't just listen to respond, listen to understand. Ask open-ended questions that encourage deeper exploration of thoughts and feelings. When someone feels truly heard, it fosters a bond that can weather even the toughest storms. Seeking uplifting relationships. Not all relationships are created equal, and that's okay. As you journey through life, you'll come across people who may not align with your values or uplift your spirits. Recognize that it's perfectly acceptable to set boundaries and distance yourself from toxic relationships. Your mental and emotional well-being deserve the utmost care. Seek out relationships that nourish your soul. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you to grow, and stand by you through thick and thin. Remember, it's about quality, not quantity. A few genuine connections will bring more joy than a multitude of superficial ones. Embracing vulnerability. Now, let's talk about vulnerability. It might sound scary, but it's an essential ingredient in building deep, supportive relationships. Vulnerability is the willingness to share your true self, the fears, insecurities, and dreams that make you human. It's a brave act that invites others to reciprocate, creating a bond based on trust and understanding. When you open up to someone and they respond with empathy and acceptance, it deepens the connection. Of course, not everyone will be worthy of your vulnerability. It's a gift to be shared with those who have earned your trust. But when you find those people, hold on to them, for they are the gems that make your journey shine. The ripple effect. As you build supportive relationships, remember that your actions have a ripple effect. When you uplift someone else, they're more likely to uplift others, creating a beautiful chain reaction of positivity. Think of it as a pay-it-forward approach to building a supportive community. Your journey is uniquely yours, but it's made even more remarkable by the people who walk alongside you. So, take a moment to reflect on the relationships in your life. Are they nurturing your growth? Do they uplift your spirit? And are you doing the same for others? Dear reader, building supportive relationships is a journey within itself, a journey that requires authenticity, effective communication, and the courage to be vulnerable. Surround yourself with those who see your worth, challenge you to become your best self, and offer a safe harbor when life gets stormy. Remember, the connections you nurture today will shape the person you become tomorrow. So go ahead, reach out to that friend you've been meaning to catch up with. Engage in meaningful conversations that light up your soul. And as you build these beautiful connections, watch how your life transforms into a tapestry of love, understanding, and unwavering support.